tuning in to the Tori Show. I'm Tori Lay. Today I have two very special Ball State students here with me. What's your name and what's your major?
I am Brandon Pope. I am a TCOM and journalism major here at Ball State University.
Okay, what's your name, what's your major?
I am Kyrie Shockley. I am a magazine journalism major here at Ball State.
Awesome. So today's topic is U.S. troops coming home. President Obama quotes, after nearly 9 years, America's war in Iraq will be over. The president has already began sending troops home, and he plans to have all 39,000 back home by the year 2014. So, the first question is, do you have any family that has been or is overseas?
Yeah, I had a cousin. Actually, I have a cousin. He's going to be coming home now because of Barack Obama's.
Oh, wow, that's
yeah,
powerful.
It is. So, yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
Oh, I'm happy too. What about you?
I have an uncle. I also have a brother who just came home last Sunday from Afghanistan. So he's in the Marines. So I'm so excited about that.
Yeah. Are you guys having like a party or anything you're throwing for them, or?
Yeah, there's going to be a good little ceremony for a welcome home kind of thing going on.
Oh,
All the home cooking and all that.
that's lovely. What came to mind when you first heard President Obama's plan?
You want to go first or me?
I can take it first.
Okay.
When I first heard it, I was very happy to hear it, of course. I mean, you got family coming back home who get to see their family again.
Right.
But also in the back of my head, I thought to myself, you know, the timing of it was kind of interesting, and I just thought to myself, I wonder how much of this was political and how much of this was, you know, geared towards building a campaign resume. So that was the main thing that stuck in my head, the whole timing of it. Why couldn't it come sooner?
What about you?
I was very joyous. I was so excited, especially because someone so dear to me was away and he was actually missing for a very long time. So, like, to hear that everyone's going to be having their family members come back, it was like a really good thing to me. The timing is key. It's kind of sketchy, but I'm excited either way.
So what do you think about the war?
I have so many opinions of it, but I just totally disagree with it. I think that fighting's not the answer. More violence just leads to more violence. More destruction just leads to more destruction. So I don't agree with it. Plus, I don't even know anymore why we're even there to begin with. I just think this war is just so long overdue. It's just unnecessary now.
Yeah, I look at the war and I just see an example of a situation that just was not executed or handled right. The 9/11 attacks weren't attacks to hurt us physically. The whole purpose of it was to hurt us financially, and the Bush administration fell right into that trap by not implementing a war tax, being the first war to do that, and just going all guns in, all guns ablaze. That just kind of set us back right away, put us in a financial hole. And so that's what bin Laden, that's what the Taliban really wanted, was to cripple us economically. So I just think the whole thing was just, it was almost pointless to me to see us go in there and just kind of fall for the whole trap.
Do you think that they got what they wanted?
Oh, they won.
Yes, they won, most definitely. Because of them, now we're living in fear, and we're always going to be discriminating against people. I mean, for one, the Muslim Americans that live here now, they're discriminated against heavily now, and we're just fear. We always feel like that someone's out to get us. We're very paranoid. People are losing their lives because of this. The economy is bad because of this. So I just feel like, as America, we just self-destruct because of this whole 9/11 situation.
And airport security is terrible.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Horrible.
That's a mess.
It's like you're
trying to get
visiting the
through.
White House just to get on the airplane. It's too much going on now.
But back to the Muslims thing, that's the thing that really gets me. All of a sudden, there's this stigma and this hatred towards the Muslim religion, you know, and people get the misconception that it's the Muslim religion and Muslims that attacked us on 9/11, when in reality it was terrorists who claimed to be Muslim, but they were really of a whole nother
extremists.
They were extremists. That's what they were. So, you know, and that's the most painful thing about it, seeing how this country, you know, we've had the civil rights movement, we talk about, you know, freedom of religion and all that type of stuff, and all of a sudden you just see this hatred towards Muslim Americans that it just sickens me at times.
Right. Wasn't it that they had tried to claimed that Obama was a Muslim.
Yes.
You all heard about that rumor?
If
Do
he
you think
was,
that could've
so
been
what?
maybe-
Like that's his own.
Yeah.
That's his
Right.
own thing. Like we have the freedom to do that, to practice our own
Yeah.
religion. Like clearly, it's one of our amendments. It's one of the most important ones. So I just
Right.
feel like that has nothing to do with his
Yeah.
political field. Like you're not
Right.
supposed to mix church and state. You're not
Yeah.
supposed to do any of that. So I feel like
I
that
agree.
that was unnecessary. And plus, he's not even a Muslim. Like that's not even the religion that he
Yeah.
practiced. So I just felt like it was something else just to get people to stay in their mindset of just
Uh-huh.
discrimination against Obama together.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was the ignorant misconception that if you're Muslim, that's bad. You're a
Right.
terrorist.
Right.
And
Yeah.
that's what a lot of that came from. They didn't associate Muslim religious-wise. They associated Muslim as in terrorist.
Right.
As in Barack Obama is secretly plotting to
To go against it.
destroy the
Yeah.
U.S. Something like that.
And
That's-
it's so ironic because like the Muslim religion is one of the most peaceful
Exactly.
religions,
So, like,
period.
how does this go
So
hand
to
in
hear
hand?
people say like, "Oh my God, they're gonna bomb us," or everybody
Yeah.
has to beware of them, it's just kind of like, really, dude? Like, have you not
Yeah.
done your information on this religion? They're so
Exactly.
peaceful.
Exactly. It's actually really sad because I had a friend in high school where he was in a hallway and he said the word bomb, and everyone turned and looked at him like, whoa, you know, what's going on? And I just feel like we have that effect now, and it's really not fair to that culture of people, you know, like they're
Not
being
at all.
judged everywhere they go. And I've seen the stereotypes in the movies. I think I was watching like some movie, and there was a plane, and there was a guy on there, and you know everyone was just studying
Like
him
Soul
really
Plane.
hard. Yeah, and I just didn't understand,
So
you know.
funny.
But yeah, back to good old President Bush. Do you think that he's given enough criticism for the war that he began?
Oh, I think people certainly criticize him enough. I think people
Yeah.
are, they push that right there on him. I think sometimes though, and you're seeing this nowadays with like what Rick Santorum and a lot of the GOP candidates now are doing, they're trying to pin it back on the Obama administration as a political way to try to get ahead and get voted for. That, I don't think the blame is fair there.
Right. What about you? What do you think about the criticism?
I think the criticism was very heavily on Bush, and he deserved every bit of the criticism that he got. I also do agree that it is rolling over to Obama, but that's what happens when you become the president. You have to take on that role of cleaning up the mess that the other president had prior to you. So I just feel like that just comes with the title, and I mean, he's just gonna have to get over that.
And one thing we love to do as Americans is place blame and figure out who's to blame for
Right.
this, who's to blame for that. It's a common question we have, and as long as he's the president, yes, it's something he's gonna have to face.
Yeah, that is true. He does have a lot of stress and, a lot of pressure on him right now. And it's crazy because Bush is probably, somewhere in Hawaii, like drinking a beer or something,
Chilling.
It's crazy. But let's see. Take note that the war is not completely over, and the process of ending it is actually going to cost money. If the war has continued for 9 years almost, why do you think people expect for it to be ended in 4 years by President Obama?
Two answers, instant gratification. I mean, that's what America thrives on. We are a very spoiled country, and I just feel like we as a country, we just want things right now, right now, and we don't realize that it is a process, a very tedious, long, strenuous process, and there's no way that you can have something, a mess that created over 8 to 12 years long, and have it be gone and erased and back to booming in 2 or 3 years. Like, that's just humanly impossible. But we always want to have that, oh, you said you're going to fix it, I want you to fix it at this time, and if you don't fix it at this time, then you're a failure. Well, that's not always the case. It just takes, it's always a timing. Timing is of the essence, it's everything.
Exactly, and there's definitely no quick fix. We have strategies and like our own theories as to what we think would fix the economy, but in reality, all of those strategies and theories take time.
They do.
You can say it pretty simply. Get jobs. Stop outsourcing, all this, but that's going to take years and years and years to establish all that, and to get the people all on the same page to do it. So, the whole, like you were saying, it's just we want things right now, immediacy, and it's just not realistic right now.
Yes, that's a very interesting perspective. How do you think people are judging this move of Obama's, like with the next election coming up?
I think some people are probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking. but maybe not in the same way. I think that people like me who are just pretty objective about things think, okay, maybe this might have some political motive. Most of it's not political, obviously. I mean, if you're going to, have soldiers come home, I don't think you're doing that just to benefit in the polls at all.
Right.
But you're going to have the other side and people that are against him that are going to say, oh, completely political. And, I do think to myself, why wasn't it done earlier? And so that's why timing does come into perspective. But you can't deny that the motive behind it, there has to be something genuine there in order to bring everybody back home.
Right. And how do you feel about the judgments?
I'm pro-Obama. I just feel like he's such a genuine person. When I went to go see him speak in Indianapolis, I just felt the sincerity in his voice. So I just feel like, even though it could be pretty good timing for the re-election, I feel it's solely just a genuine situation. Plus, it'd be different if he wasn't doing anything, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm gonna just bring home all the troops. But he brought home a lot of troops from Afghanistan a year ago. So I just feel like this was just another step in his process. And even if it is a political situation, that's what he campaigned for. I mean, he said, I'm going to get these troops out. He's doing, what he said he was going to do. So I just feel like we should just take it as a gratification and stop, trying to make such a big deal or a criticism about it. Stop being so sketchy. It could just be that he cares.
Right. One of Obama's goals was to end the war, and he's taking affirmative action. Well, that's all the time we have for today. I want to thank you both for coming on to the show.
Thank you for having us on.
Viewers, remember to register to vote. You can make a difference. And see you next time on The Tori Show.